Leonard Cheshire, Neil's introduction for new employees. Session 1, Neil talks about his background.
Just a quick intro to me, my story. I've joined Leonard Cheshire just over 2 years ago. In fact, actually getting on for 2.5 years ago, September 2016. The more observant of you will have clocked the white cane. Well, at least I hope you have. My background, I was fully sighted till I was about 15 or 16. I have a degenerative disease of the retina, which didn't affect me until my teenage years. And I wasn't supposed to lose my sight into my later life, in my 40s or 50s. That was my prognosis. And then quite unexpectedly, in my first year of university, I lost the rest of it. So I had to sort of stop and kind of retrain and work out what I was going to do. What I ended up doing was reading law, and then I went into the telecoms industry. And I spent 25 years, both here in the UK and in North America, in large telecoms companies. So some of those, a couple of those you might have heard of. O2. I was part of the team that set up O2 and ran the strategy group and the retail division for them. And then I spent a bit of time in North America as chief exec of a mobile phone business called Cincinnati Bell in the Midwest. Then came back to the UK and worked with some companies like JJB Sports and one or two others. Anyway, all the way through my business career, I'd always been interested in education and employment and supporting young visually impaired people to get a start in life. But I did that as a volunteer. So as a trustee in the early 90s, I set up a little charity called Blind in Business and worked with the government on what became the Disability Discrimination Act and is now the Equalities Act. So I was sort of always interested. And then having sold a couple of businesses a few years ago, I was trying to work out what am I going to do and with the next part of my career. And a friend of mine who knew me very well said, well, why don't you make the hobby a day job? Turn the hobby into the day job. And that sort of set me thinking. And as a result, I then moved from the business sector about 5 or 6 years ago into charities, and initially with RNAB, and then joined Leonard Cheshire in September 2016. So that's sort of my whistle-stop tour of my story.